A second characteristic that, to my way of thinking, allows an application to really achieve breakthrough status is that it must be adaptable. It's not good enough today to build an application that meets someone's need as of January 1st. It's important that your application be flexible enough that you can change it and mold it in response to user feedback and deliver those changes to users as they need them. A wonderful example of a highly adaptable application is one that is built by a partner of ours in Spain called Navantia. Navantia builds control systems for military ships. They're involved in the building of small cutters, of medium-sized destroyers, of large battleships. They may be involved in any scale of ship for almost any navy in the world. Part of the advantage that they offer to someone who wants such a ship is that they design redundant control systems with multiple monitoring stations, and they build them in such a way that all data from all parts of the ship are replicated to multiple sites on the ship in real time. And this is really important for military applications, because in military situations, any part of the ship may be incapacitated at any time. And it's important that the control functions can be taken over by someone else in some other location on the ship. Navantia has built an application that they can adapt to any different kind of naval ship. They can use it both for design purposes as well as using it in the actual floating warship to monitor the system, to control the ship from any point on the ship. The power of cache here is the richness of the data model, as well as the extremely powerful user interface that they have, both for design purposes as well as ultimately for monitoring and control purpose. And although the data volumes are not high compared with a lot of high throughput systems we have in cache, the real-time replication is very important. Data is coming from hundreds of sensor points throughout the ship and aggregated and replicated to many different points in the ship, real-time, continuously. The final characteristic I want to highlight for you is the need to build insight into applications. Successful applications today aren't just about managing a flow of data through some process, but more about giving people greater vision into what that flow of data actually means. And I'll highlight that with an example from the United States. Lead Horse builds an application that uses data from the US Food and Drug Administration. They gather that data every day and aggregate it into an extremely large, very highly indexed database so they can analyze extremely quickly for potential drug-drug interactions. If someone is taking a particular drug and a physician is contemplating using another drug with that, this database can be searched to see if there are any potentially adverse interactions between those two drugs. As you can imagine, because of the combinatorics involved, the potential number of interactions is enormous. And this data needs to be updated, is updated on a daily basis as new drugs are approved, as new information is made available about existing drugs. So the amount of data in here is extremely large. The number of potential interactions is extremely high. And yet, this application can provide extremely quick response to any potential drug-drug interaction. So these characteristics are the ones that we believe characterize breakthrough applications. And I'd like to spend a little bit of time now talking about the 3 products that we offer today that help you build such applications. Cache, Ensemble, and Deep C all share certain characteristics. And of course, part of the reason that they share those is that they're all built on Cache. Cache is the foundation for Ensemble. Cache is the foundation for Deep C. But it's more than that. These characteristics are part of what drive a lot of our thinking in product development, so that as we think of new products or as we think of changing these products, we try to stay true to these principles. It's important that you be able to build applications quickly, to adapt those applications quickly. It's important that those applications scale, and all of you who've been involved with InterSystems for even a short period of time know how much we obsess over performance. It's important that the technology that lies underneath these be as simple as possible and no more simple than that, because it needs to be easy to manage the environments in which those applications are deployed. And of course, those applications have to be able to run without interruption. Let's start by talking about Cache, which most of you are familiar with Cache as our core object database with a very high performance SQL access, extremely scalable, extremely frugal in its use of system resources. I'd like to mention some of the key drivers of product development for 2010 and some of the big features that we'll be introducing this year. There are many, many other things that we're doing, and I'm not going to go into the full product roadmap, but I would like to touch upon 3 things that I think you'll find quite interesting.